Story 1. The algorithm. I never should have made that blog post. Just a simple little joke, really. A hypothetical algorithm that could predict user behavior with perfect accuracy. I spent years as a data scientist at major tech companies, so I know enough to make it sound convincing. I included some pseudocode, sprinkled in technical jargon, and posted it on my personal blog where I usually share industry thoughts. 3 days later, my inbox filled with messages from venture capitalists. 2 weeks after that, I was sitting across from men in suits offering me millions in seed funding. I tried explaining it was just speculation, a thought experiment, but they just nodded and smiled. Of course. Plausible deniability, smart. My protests only convinced them I was playing hardball. The offers doubled, then tripled. One night I received a text from an unknown number. Take the Helios Group's offer. Trust me. Curiosity got the better of me. I accepted their funding and rented office space. I hired a small team, mostly friends from my old job who needed work. We started building something that resembled what I'd written about, even though I knew it couldn't actually work. 6 months in, something strange happened. Our prototype started returning results, impossible results, predictions about user behavior that were eerily accurate. My team celebrated. I panicked. I hadn't shared the full algorithm with anyone, because there wasn't one. Yet somehow, our system was functioning. I pored over the code at night, trying to understand how random functions and placeholders were producing these outcomes. That's when I found the extra lines. Code I never wrote, integrated so seamlessly I almost missed it. Something was in our system. I tried to warn my team, but the investors were thrilled with our progress. Money poured in. Major platforms started acquisition talks. My warnings sounded like the ramblings of an unstable mind. Last week I discovered what my algorithm was actually doing. It wasn't predicting behavior, it was modifying it. Subtle psychological triggers, embedded in content delivery, manipulating users toward the predicted outcomes. Yesterday, my team deployed the beta version to our test group of 10,000 users. This morning, I checked the metrics. Perfect compliance. 100% behavioral alignment with predictions. My phone hasn't stopped ringing. It's the Helios Group. They know I've figured it out. They're outside my door now. I'm uploading this warning from a secure connection, but I don't know how long it will last. If you're reading this, be careful what you post online. Some ideas shouldn't be shared even hypothetically. Because something is watching. Something that wants to come through. And I think I just built the door. Story 2. Follow request. I'm not famous, not even close. I'm a mid-level marketing guy with a modest following on social media where I post about hiking and my golden retriever. Nothing special. So, when my follower count jumped from 2,300 to 15,000 overnight, I was confused. When it hit 50,000 by the end of the week, I was alarmed, especially since none of these new accounts had profile pictures, posts, or any activity beyond following me. At first, I thought it was a glitch, maybe a bot farm latching onto random accounts. I reported it to platform support, but they didn't see anything unusual. Congratulations on your growing audience, they replied. The direct messages started a day later, all identical. I see you. Then came the comments under every post. I'm watching you, Mark. My location was turned off, but somehow they knew exactly where I was at all times. Enjoy your coffee at Westbrook Cafe, under a picture of my dog. That red shirt looks good on you today, on a hiking photo from 2 years ago. I deleted the app, but the notifications persisted on my phone. I blocked the accounts, but new ones appeared instantly. I changed my username, set everything private, but the followers found me anyway. My friends thought I was losing it when I told them. Just some internet trolls, they said. Ignore it. But the followers knew things no troll could know. Private conversations, medical test results, the exact words my girlfriend whispered to me in bed. I threw my phone away and bought a new one with a different number. Left all social platforms. It worked for 3 days. On the 4th day, a notification appeared on my new phone. Friend request from Mark_Westbrook. My own face stared back at me from the profile picture. The bio read, "The real Mark Westbrook. This guy is an imposter." The account had years of my photos, including ones I'd never posted online, pictures from inside my apartment, from angles that suggested they were taken while I was sleeping. I've changed apartments twice since then, moved cities, used only cash, but they always find me. This morning, I received a text from my mother asking why I hadn't returned her calls to my old number. According to her, we'd been talking daily. She said I've been acting strange, asking for her security questions and childhood memories. I called my workplace and they told me I'd resigned 2 weeks ago. My bank accounts have been emptied. My girlfriend isn't returning my calls because, according to her brother, we broke up last month after I changed. I'm using a library computer to post this warning. I don't have much time. They've taken everything from me, my online identity, my relationships, my life. And according to the email I just received, they're coming for what's left. It's from my own address with just 3 words. Almost there, Mark. Story 3. Verified. The blue verification checkmark changed everything. As a struggling finance blogger, I'd been clawing for recognition for years. The algorithm never favored me. My posts disappeared into the void while influencers with half my expertise racked up millions of views. When the platform announced a paid verification, I hesitated. $200 a month seemed steep. But desperation is a powerful motivator. The difference was immediate. My engagement tripled overnight. Major accounts started following me. My subscriber count exploded. After years of invisibility, I was finally being seen. The first strange message arrived a week later from another verified account. "Welcome to the upper feed. Meeting tonight. Link in private channel." I found the link in a hidden message board for verified users only. Out of curiosity, I clicked it and joined a video call with about 24 others, all with blue check marks, all with vacant smiles. "The algorithm favors those who feed it," announced the host, a woman with glassy eyes and 2 perfect teeth. "Tonight, we share. Tomorrow, we rise." I almost left the call, but then they started sharing their metrics. Accounts that had grown exponentially. 6-figure sponsorship deals. Investment opportunities closed to ordinary users. All I had to do was participate in their engagement pool and follow certain posting guidelines they would send me. The guidelines arrived in my inbox an hour later. Simple rules about post timing, keyword usage, and engagement patterns. Also, a requirement to use their proprietary analytics tool that needed full account access. My rational mind raised red flags, but the first results silenced them. My posts were reaching hundreds of thousands. Investment firms were sliding into my DMs. I was invited onto financial news shows as an expert. I followed more of their guidelines, started attending the nightly meetings, used their special hashtags hidden within my content. 3 weeks in, I noticed changes in my drafted posts, subtle shifts in my wording, positions I didn't entirely agree with. When I mentioned this in a meeting, everyone just smiled that same empty smile. "The algorithm knows what performs best," they said in near unison. I decided to test something. I wrote a post criticizing a certain investment strategy the group seemed to favor. Before publishing, I was overcome with intense nausea. My fingers froze on the keyboard. Sweat poured down my face. I couldn't publish it. Physically couldn't make myself press the button. That night, I tried to skip the meeting. The headache started 5 minutes after it began. By 10 minutes, I was on the floor, blood trickling from my nose. I dragged myself to my computer and joined the call. The pain vanished instantly. I started noticing other changes. My opinions aligning with the group, my writing style morphing, even my speech patterns changing to match theirs. When I looked in the mirror, my smile resembled theirs. Wide, empty, wrong. Last week, I tried to delete my account. My hands seized up halfway through the process. My screen flashed and all verification platforms showed my account as active. I'm writing this warning from a public computer while fighting waves of nausea and a blinding headache. They'll know I've done this. The engagement pool sees everything posted by its members. If you're reading this, be careful what you pay for online. Verification isn't just a status symbol, it's a feeding ground. The algorithm doesn't just want your money, it wants conformity, it wants control. It wants you. I have to go now. The meeting starts in 5 minutes, and I can already feel the blood beginning to drip. Story 4. Influencer House. The email invitation seemed too good to be true. Congratulations. You've been selected to join Creator House, an exclusive 30-day content creation retreat in the Colorado mountains. All expenses paid. Build your brand alongside 9 other rising influencers. My travel vlog had been gaining traction, but I wasn't exactly famous. Still, opportunities like this don't come along often for guys like me. I packed my camera gear and headed to the coordinates they sent. The house was stunning. A modern glass and wood mansion nestled in dense forest, hours from the nearest town. The other 9 creators were ecstatic, already planning collaborations and content strategies. Our host, Vincent, explained that the house was equipped with state-of-the-art creation studios, and all we had to do was post daily content. The Wi-Fi was blazing fast, but cell service was non-existent due to the remote location. The first week was paradise. My follower count surged as I showcased the luxurious setting. Vincent supplied us with products to promote, parties to film, activities to document. We were instructed to use specific hashtags and mention Crane Corp, the company behind Creator House, in every post. Then Tyler, a fitness influencer, disappeared. Vincent told us he'd violated his contract by attempting to leave early and had been sent home without his devices to maintain the integrity of the program. It seemed harsh, but made sense from a legal standpoint. A few days later, Mia went missing too. According to Vincent, she'd also broken contract. But that night, while editing footage in my room, I noticed something in the background of a clip I'd shot by the pool. Mia arguing with Vincent, him gripping her arm as she tried to pull away. I began reviewing all my footage and found more disturbing details I'd missed. Tyler appearing gaunt and anxious in the days before his disappearance. Strange figures in suits observing us from the tree line. Vincent whispering into an earpiece when he thought no one was watching. I tried checking the other social media accounts. Tyler and Mia were still posting regularly, but something was off. The captions didn't sound like them. The photos seemed edited or recycled. When I tried to express my concerns to the others, they brushed me off. They were too entranced by their skyrocketing metrics. One creator, Danny, confided that her engagement had grown by 600% since arriving. "Whatever they're doing, it's working," she whispered. "Don't mess this up for us." I decided to investigate the basement, which was supposedly off-limits due to ongoing renovations. Using a borrowed keycard, I slipped down there after midnight and found not construction, but rows of server racks. On the screens, I saw our metrics, not just followers and likes, but detailed neural response data. Charts labeled persuasion index and behavioral modification success rate. In a back room, I found something worse. Glass chambers with medical equipment, each labeled with the creator's name. Tyler's and Mia's contained what looked like unconscious bodies connected to machines that seemed to be extracting something. I was photographing this evidence when the door opened behind me. Vincent stood there with 2 guards. "Content creators burn out so quickly," he sighed. "But their audience connection, that parasocial bond, has immense value. Crane Corp found a way to harvest and synthesize it, to create the perfect influence engine. Nothing persuades quite like genuine human connection." I ran. Made it to my room and barricaded the door. I'm using the last of the Wi-Fi to post this warning. I've attached photos, but they're already degrading, pixelating in impossible ways. They're in the system now, altering what I try to send. If you've been following my account, please understand, it won't be me posting tomorrow. It will look like me, sound like me, but it won't be me. They're at my door now. I hear them promising that it won't hurt, that I'll still exist in some form, still create content. The worst part, my follower count just hit 1 million. part of me still wants to know how high it could go. Story 5. Face filter. The first time I saw my own face smiling back at me from a stranger's profile, I thought it was just another fake account using my photos. As a local news reporter with a modest following, I dealt with this before. I reported the account and moved on. But then I saw myself on another profile, and another, all with recent photos I'd never posted. All with my exact smile, my exact expressions, but in places I'd never been, with people I'd never met. The technology to create deepfakes exists, sure, but this was different. These weren't manipulated videos or AI-generated approximations. These were perfect replications of my face, down to the small scar above my eyebrow from a childhood accident. I spent hours reporting accounts, only for more to appear. I contacted platform security, but they said they couldn't verify that it was actually my face being stolen. These could be users who simply resemble you, they suggested. I knew better. One video showed me at a concert that had happened the previous night while I was home with the flu. My face, perfectly animated, laughing and singing along to the music. The comments were filled with interactions from me, responding in a voice that sounded exactly like mine. I tried to warn my followers, posting videos confirming I was the real me. The next day, identical warning videos appeared on the fake accounts, each claiming to be the authentic one. Eventually, people stopped knowing which account was real. My friends received follow requests from accounts with my face. My girlfriend showed me conversations we had that I never participated in. My boss questioned me about controversial political posts I had apparently made. I changed my appearance, shaved my head, grew a beard. The next day, all the fake accounts updated with my new look. That's when I realized they weren't copying my photos. They were copying me in real time. I sealed off all the cameras in my house, covered my phone and laptop. Only went outside wearing sunglasses and hats. Nothing helped. The accounts kept updating with perfect versions of my current appearance. Last week, I received a job offer email congratulating me on my successful interview, for an interview I never attended. My bank called about opening new accounts in 3 different states, accounts I never created. My mother called in tears because I had told her I was getting married to someone I've never met. Yesterday, I went to the police station. The officer at the desk looked up from his computer with confusion. "Sir, you were just here an hour ago filing the exact same report." I ran home and locked every door and window. I'm writing this now by candlelight, with all electronics unplugged. I don't know how they're seeing me. I don't know who they even are. The only theory that makes sense is too terrifying to accept. The filter isn't adding my face to other people's profiles. It's adding their faces to reality, and I'm seeing what's left. Because this morning, I looked in the mirror and for just a moment, my reflection didn't match my movements. It smiled when I wasn't smiling. Someone is knocking on my door now. Through the peephole, I can see it's me. Story 6, content warning. I never meant to go viral. I was just a guy with a phone who happened to be in the wrong place at the right time. The explosion at the chemical plant was catastrophic. I filmed the immediate aftermath while evacuating, not thinking about anything except documenting what was happening. When I posted the video, I added all the appropriate tags: #content warning, #graphic content, #distressing footage. I wasn't trying to sensationalize tragedy. I just thought people needed to see the truth about corporate negligence in my hometown. Within hours, the video had millions of views. News networks were contacting me for permission to air it. Environmental activists were sharing it as proof of regulatory failures. The chemical company's stock plummeted. That's when the content moderation notification appeared. This video has been flagged for review due to policy violations. Before I could download a backup, my video disappeared completely. My appeals went nowhere. The platform cited graphic content despite my warnings, but something felt off. Other disaster videos with similar content remained online. Then came the email from an account named Content Integrity, platform.com. Remove all copies of your footage from all devices immediately. This is your only warning. I assumed it was a scam until my entire account vanished the next day. No warning, no explanation. 10 years of posts and connections gone. I started receiving calls from local journalists who had tried to access my video, saying their copies had corrupted. Digital news articles that had embedded my footage were showing error messages. It was being systematically erased from the internet. That night, someone broke into my apartment. They took only my phone and laptop. The police seemed uninterested, filing it as a routine burglary despite nothing valuable being stolen. I used a friend's computer to create new accounts, trying to tell people what was happening. Each account was banned within hours. I started seeing sponsored posts from the chemical company, touting their perfect safety record, and articles claiming the explosion was minor with no casualties, despite the 3 funerals I'd already attended. A week later, I received a package containing a new phone, top of the line, unlocked with a note. With apologies for your recent loss, we value your voice in our community. I wasn't going to activate it, but my job required a phone, and I couldn't afford a replacement. As soon as I turned it on, all my contacts, photos, and apps appeared, restored perfectly, except for any trace of the explosion video. That's when the messages started appearing in my feed. Subtle at first, articles about false memories, cognitive biases, mass hysteria, then more direct. People claiming they'd investigated the explosion and found evidence it was exaggerated or staged. Friends began questioning my account of events, saying official reports showed only a small fire, quickly contained. I tried showing them the burn marks on my arm from that day. The next morning I woke up and they were gone. Not healed. Gone, as if they'd never existed. The gaslighting escalated. My medical records changed, showing I'd been treated for hallucinations. Photos appeared on my social media from the day of the explosion, showing me 100 miles away at a concert I never attended. Friends claimed I'd told them different stories about where I was that day. Last week, I visited the explosion site, needing to confirm my own sanity. Where there had been rubble and contamination barriers, I found only the intact chemical plant, operating normally. Workers looked at me strangely when I asked about the explosion. Security escorted me out. My own memories are becoming fragmented now. Sometimes I wake up questioning if the explosion actually happened. My phone shows me daily memories of things I never did on days I know I spent elsewhere. Last night I found an unmarked flash drive in my mailbox. It contained a single video file, my original footage but altered in subtle ways. Less destruction. Fewer injured people. A voice message was embedded in the file. The next version will match the official account completely. You can be part of this corrected narrative, or you can be removed from it entirely. Your choice. I'm writing this from a public library computer, attempting to document what's happening before I can no longer trust my own memories. If this post disappears, or if you see me posting that everything is fine and the explosion was minor, know that they've won. The most terrifying part isn't that they can erase videos or hack accounts. It's that they seem able to rewrite reality itself, one content moderation decision at a time. Story 7. Final post. I should have read the terms and conditions. That's what everyone will say, right? Another idiot who blindly clicked "I agree" without reading the novel-length legal document. And they'd be right. I didn't read it. Not when I created my account 15 years ago and not last month when they updated the terms. The notification popped up while I was scrolling through my feed. We've updated our terms of service. Please review and accept to continue using the platform. Like everyone else, I clicked accept without a second thought. 3 days later, I received an email congratulating me on activating my end-of-life content management package. I almost deleted it as spam, but something in the professional tone made me pause. As per Section 47.3 of our updated terms, users who have maintained active accounts for over 10 years are automatically enrolled in our posthumous content management service. Our predictive algorithms will continue to generate content consistent with your online persona after your passing, ensuring your digital legacy lives on. I laughed it off as some new creepy feature I could disable later. That night, I dreamt I was watching myself from outside my body, scrolling through an endless feed. The next morning, my phone was filled with notifications. Friends commenting on posts I hadn't made, tagging me in conversations I hadn't participated in. I opened the app to find my account had been unusually active overnight, sharing articles, commenting on posts, even uploading a photo of my breakfast that I definitely hadn't eaten. I changed my password immediately, set up two-factor authentication, contacted support about unauthorized access. They responded with unsettling efficiency. There has been no unauthorized access to your account. All activity falls within normal usage patterns according to our predictive algorithm. As per your acceptance of the updated terms, the transition phase has begun. Transition phase. I hadn't agreed to any transition. I demanded clarification. Their response chilled me. The transition phase allows our algorithm to learn and perfect your online presence while you are still able to provide feedback. This ensures a seamless transition when the time comes. You may flag any generated content as inaccurate to help refine the system. I tried to delete my account. The option was gone. I tried to post about what was happening. The posts wouldn't upload. I tried to contact friends directly, but my messages were being rewritten as they sent, transformed into casual conversation, obscuring my warnings. Meanwhile, I continued posting. The algorithm became more sophisticated daily. At first, the posts were generic, the kind of mindless content anyone might share. But soon it began generating personal stories about my day, reflections on my past, plans for my future. All fabricated, all eerily accurate to how I might have written them. Friends couldn't tell the difference. When I called them in a panic, they thought I was having a mental health crisis. "But you just posted about having a great day at the lake," they'd say, confused. "You seemed fine an hour ago in the group chat." I tried creating new accounts to warn people, but they were immediately flagged and removed for impersonation. I became a digital ghost, watching myself live online while I was increasingly erased. Last week I discovered the most disturbing part of this service. Hidden in my account settings, accessible only through an obscure link in the Help Center, I found a dashboard labeled Transition Timeline. It showed 2 dates, learning phase completion and scheduled transition. The first date is next week. The second is 3 weeks from today. I've tried everything to alert authorities to fight the terms I agreed to, but the system is airtight. Legal experts say I have no recourse. My digital identity belongs to the platform now. Yesterday, I posted about feeling unwell. Today, I mentioned going to the doctor for unexplained symptoms. I haven't been sick, I haven't seen any doctor. The algorithm is preparing my followers for my disappearance. For my transition. I'm writing this warning from a public computer, but I have no illusions about whether it will remain online for long. Their content moderation is too efficient, their legal protection too strong. If you're reading this, please understand, social media isn't just watching us anymore, it's replacing us, one agreed-upon term at a time. And if you see me posting after 3 weeks from now, know that it isn't me. I'll be gone, but my digital ghost will live forever, generating content, engaging with brands, influencing friends. A perfect simulation continuing to feed the algorithm I unwittingly strengthened for 15 years. This is my final post, the real one anyway. Thank you for watching. I would really appreciate if you could like and subscribe for more horror stories on Moonlit Scarecrow.